Hi guys, today's reading is going to be about how they justified themselves hurting you. This can be about anyone who hurt you, really. So, these are the two piles. The first one is the Santa Muerte, and the second one is the Tarot del Toro. So I'll just hold them both up for y'all to see. The first one is this one, and the second one is this one. Okay. Okay, pile one, you choose the Santa Muerte Tarot. This can be a reading on how they justified themselves hurting you. This can be multiple people or just one person. And keep in mind this is a general reading, so take what resonates. It's collective. So Spirit, help me out with my pile one. Let me tap into my pile one's energies and their situations. Okay. How did yeah, I can't even, there's just, yeah. Okay, pile one, whoever it is you're thinking about, there was a lot of reasons there. I'm gonna go ahead and say their mind was on you a lot and they're constantly thinking about you and overthinking about you, so it's just a lot of different things, a lot of different feelings. They would feel one way and then they would turn around and feel the opposite way. And then they were always trying to map out a new way to feel towards you, to try and get themselves out of feeling stuck with the situation. So that's why they kept doing it, but it's like there's no one clear thing. Like there's just so many different stages of how of energy they've put towards you that it's like at this point they don't even know how they feel towards you, because they just allowed themselves to be consumed by you and your energy. And I feel like they sort of blamed you for that. Like whoever these people or this person was, they like were obsessed with you, but they blamed you for it because they thought either you were obsessed with them or you were causing them to be obsessed with you, like, which makes absolutely no sense. But some of you could do magic or be a witch of some sort or a wizard, and this person thought that you were doing magic to keep them obsessed with you, or keep them attached to you. The funny thing about this is this person was under the impression, or these people were under the impression, that you were as equally obsessed with what they were doing or what was going on with them. Like equally obsessed as they were with you. And honestly, I'm getting this energy where like, not only were you not aware of the extent these person or these people were obsessed with you, but you were minding your own business the entire time. The reason you didn't know they were obsessed is because you weren't even paying attention to what was going on with them, because you didn't care, because that's not your business. But this person was under the perception that you were just as down bad as they were. Okay, for some of you I'm getting it's a specific person. For some of you I'm getting it's a specific person who like talked to a group of people, and so that group of people also like sort of hurt you too. And then for some of you it is just like a group of different people that I'm talking about. So each thing I say is going to resonate for a different person who's stalking you, if that makes sense. Because some of these people, if it's a group of people, are still stalking you. Because the karmic cycle hasn't really closed out yet. But let's see. how did they justify themselves hurting my pile one? We have the Two of Pentacles. Or actually, yeah, the Two of Pentacles. So some of you could have been in a relationship. And because these two things, look, there's a butterfly. The butterfly between those two skulls of y'all coming together. So maybe you had a really good relationship with them. Maybe you were really good friends, or maybe even were in a relationship with them. And with this butterfly here, it was like a very thriving relationship. Like, maybe for some of you it was very spiritual, or it changed you a lot, changed who you are as a person. And then, like, I don't know. I'm feeling like this person or these people were bitter of because this mirrored energy wasn't happening anymore. This like balanced relationship wasn't happening anymore the way they wanted it to. Or maybe even their contact and communication with you got ripped away from them, or they just stopped communicating with you. But they were like, oh, we used to have such a good relationship, or we all used to be so good friends with this person. Like, obviously all of that changed because of them, you know. So basically they blamed you for the falling out of their relationship or relationships with you. Spirit, how else did my pile one's people justify themselves hurting them? How else did they justify this within themselves? What made them think they were doing the right thing by doing this? The Wheel of Fortune. So this is kind of gonna sound messed up, but it's like this person in their head, or these people were like, oh, I always knew that pile one was gonna change, or I always knew I was eventually gonna have to be mean to pile one or start talking shit about pile one. Like, they would be talking shit about you and they'd be like, oh, I always knew they would turn out this way, or I always knew we would all be hating on pile one. Like, it's this energy where they're trying to act like they knew, or act like there's some higher wisdom above all this situation, when really they're like so out of the loop. And with the little scythes here, I'm feeling like some of you could have been backstabbed by this person or these people. Some of you may have tried to like cut this person off once you realized where their energy was coming from. And it's like they were like, oh, I'm gonna hurt them before they even have the chance to hurt me. They were like, I'm not gonna let this person like hurt me, so I'm going to hurt them before they hurt me. Because it's like they assumed you were just gonna end up hurting them anyway, so they were like, okay, well, I'm gonna be the first to do it, so they don't get the satisfaction. It's like they speak so much about like how good of a relationship y'all used to have, how good friends I used to be, but meanwhile they were always thinking about you in this bad way. Like, the whole time they were always just expecting things to go bad between y'all, or maybe even wishing things would go bad between y'all. Spirit, why were they low-key wishing things would go bad between them and my pile one? Why were they low-key wishing for this? We have the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, I have my suspicions, but honestly, they were just jealous, bro. Look at these green little skulls. It felt like they were walking on eggshells around you. Not because of something you were doing or some energy you were putting out, but they were jealous of you. Something about your energy, something about maybe your job or your status or something. Like, they felt like they couldn't be themselves around you because you would judge them, or um, they didn't feel as good enough about themselves as maybe you do about yourself. It's just this weird energy where you weren't doing anything to hold them back or block their energy. They were just assuming the worst of you, if that makes sense. Like, assuming that if they ever opened up to you, you would do the worst. And I don't know why they were assuming that, because they seemed to have like a really good relationship with you, or they really enjoyed your energy. But it's like the whole time they were secretly thinking, oh, this person's a bad person. And with the Wheel of Fortune here, I feel like maybe the way this person hurt you happened in a sort of like synchronicity way, or like it happened at a certain point in your life that made a bunch of things align. Or maybe they couldn't have hurt you unless it was right at that exact moment in both of y'all's lives. Because with the Wheel of Fortune here, I'm really feeling like timing is a huge thing. And I'm feeling like whatever was going on between you, or whatever was going on in your life or their life at the time that they hurt you, it was like the perfect opportunity for them. They were like, oh, this was meant to be. I was meant to hurt this person. Like, that's what was going through their head. They were like, this is the next step to take. This is a good idea. They were like, the Wheel of Fortune, like, it was just always meant to be. It's divine timing. This is like what I was meant to do. When, I don't know, I'm feeling more like this was something that was just building up within them, and they finally felt like they had a good reason to hurt you, you know? Because maybe at the time that they hurt you, something had been happening with you, or something had been happening in their life um, that was making you look bad, or that was putting them at a point where they like just weren't really caring about anything outside of themselves, and they were like, oh, now is the perfect opportunity to come in and cut this relationship off. But it's like, subconsciously the whole time they were wanting to do that, but in reality their spirit guides were like, no, like that wasn't the path. It's like Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You're doing the opposite of what was divinely meant for you. And it's like this person just didn't even care. They were so like brick wall facing straight toward, they were only like looking at themselves. They were only thinking about themselves. Like, they were completely cut off from the outside world. They just could not perceive it at all. It's like their spirit guides couldn't even like reach them, because this person was just so dead set on not only ending this relationship, but talking bad about you to everyone they could, being like, oh, I had such a good relationship with them, why did it have to be this way, why did they have to do this to me, and like just fucking whining to everyone and anyone they could get to, because they weren't happy, because they didn't do what was truly like aligned with their soul. They didn't. And I'm feeling like now they're looking back on that, which is why I said they're probably still stalking you. I feel like now they're looking back on it because they're in this state of Five of Pentacles. They're in this state of like lack of abundance, having to pick money off the ground just to be able to get shit, just to be able to like, I don't fucking know, get through the daily shit. Like, this person might genuinely be poor, they might be homeless, this person might have some sort of like substance abuse problems. But it's like, now that they're in this energy of lack, or now that they can't really complain about the relationship anymore because it's been too long, and they should have moved on by now, it's like now they're looking back and they're like, oh, did I make the right decision? Or and that's why I said they're overthinking about you, because at one point they're like, oh, I hate this person, it's all their fault, Pile One did this to me. And then at another point they're like, I did this to myself, I'm such a piece of shit, maybe I should just keep being a piece of shit. I don't know if y'all watch Euphoria, but in the Rue's special episode, she's talking to Ali and he's like, oh, so you're a piece of shit, so you should just keep doing drugs because you're a piece of shit and that's what you deserve, is to keep being a piece of shit. And he puts in a really good argument, because it's like the people in the world justify doing horrible shit because we deem it as unforgivable, and then so they see themselves as unredeemable, and so they just keep doing the horrible shit because they're like, well, it could never go back now. They never even try to seek help or change because they're like, I can't change, that's just who I am. And that's kind of how these people are, Pile One. Like, they're the type of people to justify themselves hurting you because they're like, oh, I've already done too much, I might as well just keep hurting them because it's all I'm good for. Like, maybe you gave them a chance, like, of forgiveness, maybe you like tried to talk it out with them after they hurt you and be like, well, what happened, why did that happen? You tried to like reason with them, and it's like they just freaked the fuck out and did it again. They were like, oh, I'm a piece of shit, so I'm just gonna keep hurting this person so I can keep suffering and be miserable. They're like such a pity party. They're like, oh, I'm so sad, I'm so miserable, I can't take hold of my life. When like the ability to take hold of their life is right in front of them, they just don't want to take it. And they've blamed it on you. Like, seriously, Pile One, this person loves projecting on you, or these people fixate on you. I see 222 on the clock. They fixate on you as a mirror for their own problems of their own subconscious. The things that they talk shit about you, the things that they hate about you, are shit that they don't like about themselves. We have Four of Wands here. So I'm feeling like for some of you, this person's family was encouraging them to hurt you. For some of you, I'm feeling like this person was like, oh, I'm way better off than Pile One. I don't need Pile One in my life. I have perfect foundations. I am perfectly abundant. I'm doing great. All of my relationships in life are good. I don't need Pile One at all. I don't know why they think that they need to be part of my life. When in reality, now that they're in this Five of Pentacles energy without you, all these relationships, all these gossip, like, everyone's left them. Nobody wants to hear about the stupid, like, relationship anymore. No one wants to hear about them talking shit. It's like now they're really realizing this Four of Wands energy, this stability, this abundance, they were getting that from you. They were straight up getting that from you. Like, I'm not even playing with you right now. This is you now. You're still standing in your abundance. You haven't changed. You never tried to be someone you weren't. You were always real. You were always real with it. And this person, they kept switching up. So they never had like a certain set foundation or a certain root of abundance, because they kept switching up. They kept moving around. And now they're wondering why they aren't abundant. They're looking at you and they're seeing your abundance and they're like, oh, well, they're just privileged, or they're cheating at life, or they're like, it's really like this person is doing the absolute most to make excuses in their head for why you're doing better off than them, why you're able to move on from the situation, why you just are completely unbothered. They're like, oh, this person was gaslighting me, this person was manipulating me, they always hated me, they always wanted me to be down in the gutter. And meanwhile, you aren't even aware of these thoughts going through their head. You're just minding your own business. That's the scary thing about it, is like, maybe you should do some energy protection, some protection spells, Pile One, because this person thinks about you a lot, to the point where they're always putting energy towards you, always putting negative energy towards you because they're at a low vibration. I'm only 5 minutes into this reading. I feel like I've been doing this reading for 10 or 15 minutes. So I feel like they think about you to the point where they're like, they look at the time and they're like, oh, only that much time has passed? I've been thinking about this person for so long. And it's like sometimes they realize that. They're like, wow, I'm a little obsessed. But then they just turn around and go back to doing it again. It's like they realized what they're doing was wrong. They realized they were being a bad person. They realized they were projecting onto you and it wasn't actually your fault. But they're so addicted to talking shit about you. They're so addicted to like this cycle of like going back and forth. They just don't know how to change it. They genuinely don't. They're like, I can't see any way out of this situation, so I might as well just keep doing what I'm doing. It's such this pity party energy. They're like, oh, I'm stuck in this cycle. Oh, my life is so hard. Meanwhile, they're acting like you're the one who's fucking like privileged or whatever. I don't know, man. I'm not trying to be mean. I hate being mean like that, but like, I hate people like this who like have the opportunity, have the ability to change what they don't like about their lives, and then they just sit there and like cry about it like they don't have a choice, or like they couldn't do it even if they wanted to. Like, you're doing this to yourself, you know? Or like those people who won't change themselves but look for everybody, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, every Mary Jane out there for the solution. They look to anybody else they possibly can for the solution. And it's like that's why this person hurt you, bro, is because they expected you to be the answer. They expected you to constantly fix their problems. They expected you to constantly know when they were upset, or when you were upsetting them, or when you weren't doing something that was aligned with their vibration. And you just didn't. Because not only would they not tell you, but like, you are not some fucking like psychic for other people, you know? You might be a psychic pile one, but that's just for you. You're not sitting around doing that for everybody else, making sure everybody else is okay. Like, it's like this person expected so much from you, and when they didn't get that, they were mad at you for it. This person had an idea of you in their head of like, I don't know, they were putting you on a pedestal. They were basically making this manic pixie ass dream girl idea version of you in their head that was completely not aligned with who you actually were. And then it's like reality came and hit them in the face. And they were like, oh, you lied to me about who you were? You lied to me about who you were, when in reality they were just making up who they thought you were in their head. They were like, oh, this person's gonna do this for me, this person's gonna do this for me, this person's gonna like fix all my problems. This is the type of person, pile one, that hops from person to person waiting for someone to fix them, and wonders why they end up in the shittiest, most toxic relationships. Okay, now I think I'm going to do a little bit, like I'm going to pull some cards for the group. For those of you who have that group of people talking about you. I'm still going to pull cards on like a specific person at the end of the reading, but Spirit, for those of pile one who have like a group of people that hurt them, how did this group justify themselves hurting them? How did this group justify this? Page of Cups. So I don't know if some of you are in theater class or in drama club or art club, but these people were judging your art. And if it isn't art, if it isn't like acting, these people were judging whenever you be emotional or whenever you'd open up to these people or this group of people, they would be like, oh, they're doing the absolute most, or oh my god, they're so sensitive, or like they're constantly emotional about something. Like, these people didn't like your intuition, your emotional sensitivity. They didn't understand why you have such a hard time with emotions like that. They were just annoyed by it and fed up with it, and they thought you were attention seeking, basically. We have the Six of Pentacles. So you might have been like this group's like leader, or maybe you were just like a really detrimental part of the group. And this is, I'm getting friend group vibes, but this could also just be a group of people like separately who hurt you. But I'm hearing you didn't give them enough. Six of Pentacles, they were like, they expected you to give and give and give. And they're like, oh, we're letting you be part of the friend group. We're letting you chill. We're letting you hang out. So you need to be giving back. You need to be giving back your energy. And if you didn't do that the way they wanted you to, they were talking shit. Nine of Cups. Really look at this card, man. I feel like you're a really carefree person. You hold things close to your chest, you know, and you don't open up to people easily. But you're this very emotional, like flowing person, graceful person. There's something about you being unique, or you being like not just a cookie cutter personality that bugged these people or this group of people. It's like whenever you would show signs of like trying to be different from the rest of the group, or whenever you would just be doing your own thing and not even like paying attention to other people, it's like they would be mad about it. They would be like, Padawan has no business doing all that, or Padawan thinks they're all that, or thinks they're so cool or so beautiful or whatever. Meanwhile, they're just like staring at you doing your own thing, like, why is this happening? But they're still staring at you while you're just minding your own business, doing your own thing. It's like this obsessive energy. Even while they were watching you, they knew you were beautiful. And like, it's like they thought you were trying too hard, or that you were being an attention whore because you were so beautiful with what you do, or whenever you'd go off and be on your own, or whenever you were in your own energy. It's like they simultaneously thought you were beautiful, but also an attention whore or attention seeking because of your beauty. And then we have, well, Six of Wands. Hey, we have 666 here. Six of Pentacles, Six of Wands, Six of Cups. Hold on, I gotta show that to you. Okay. Six of Wands. Six of Cups. Wait, this is 9. Oh, I'm so stupid. My bad. But 696. That might be an important number for some of y'all. Okay, now I'm lost because I think it might have been Six of Cups, and then this is Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, no, this is Nine of Pentacles. That's my bad. So, this friend group didn't like, if you're rich, you know, you have a rich family, you come from a good, or even just a loving household, not necessarily materially abundant, but just a loving household. This friend group did not like that. This friend group was either jealous, or they thought you didn't appreciate it enough, or they were just mad at you for having more than them. And with the Six of Cups, it's like, maybe you used to be less attractive, maybe you used to be less confident, maybe you just used to be lesser of a person because You just hadn't stepped into who you were yet. And it's like this friend group liked you better that way. They liked you better as a shell of who you were. And with the Six of Wands here, it's like maybe you're getting recognition now. Maybe now you're getting recognition. Maybe now people are telling you you're beautiful. Maybe now you're getting friends and people who are like actually there for you and actually care about you. Maybe you're actually starting to feel yourself and starting to like apply that energy to different aspects of your life, and you're like, yeah, I deserve this recognition because you're an honest and good person, Padawan. You're a really giving and loving and sensual and emotional person, you know? Like all these things in your life that are changing, that you're getting recognition for, like you do deserve that. But this friend group is like, oh hell no, you do not deserve that. They're like, oh, this person is so prideful, so arrogant. That's how they justify themselves talking shit about you. That's how they justified themselves talking shit about you when they were still pretending to be friends with you. They were like, oh, this person's too arrogant, this person's too abundant, this person thinks too much of themselves, this person is trying to get everybody to like them, when really they were just jealous of your light. They were assuming your light was you purposefully trying to attract other people, when really it was just attracting every fucking moth to the flame. It was really just you attracting all these dark shadows to the light, because that's how like physics works, that's how the balance of everything's work. But they were like, oh, Padawan's doing this on purpose. Padawan's an attention whore. Like, I know I keep saying attention whore over and over again, but they really thought you were doing that for attention. I don't know. But let's pull one more card on the specific person that hurt you, because I know for a lot of you, Padawan, it was a specific person who hurt you, or just multiple different specific people who hurt you. So let's see. My Padawan's persons justify themselves hurting my Padawan? We have the King of Cups and the Ten of Wands. So I like how this red little butterfly looks like the little heart for the King of Cups. Okay, there's a lot of different symbolism to decipher. Okay. Yeah. Let me just go ahead and say, whoever this person was, you're changing who they are as a person, because basically what you're doing, you're not even doing anything, but what you are doing to them by them being obsessed over you, like basically what they're doing to themselves by projecting onto you, is completely changing who they are as a person. Like, it is forcing them to close out their karmic cycles. They will be forced to close out their karmic cycles, because it's either keep doing this forever or stop doing it and have a complete change of self. That's sort of what Spirit is forcing them to do. But this person is angry. This person has a hard life or something, or I don't know. There's just a lot of anger in this person's life, and they pushed all of that onto you. Because look at this, is the color red of the root chakra. You know, fears. When we're scared is often when we can get angriest. And I'm gonna be real with you, Padawan. This person was scared of their emotions for you. They were scared of how deep you took them emotionally. They were scared of how deep you were as a person in their relationship with you. And that made them feel not only fearful, but angry. It's like, trust me, Padawan, you didn't do anything to deserve the anger they projected onto you. They just have a lot of anger in their lives, just built up, And it's like they saw this opportunity with you where they were just like, they took every single thing bottled up inside them and just completely just push it onto you, just all of it pouring out at once. And even though the King of Cups came out here, this person did not act emotionally mature in how this happened. They were extremely emotionally codependent, extremely emotionally like out of whack. It's like King of Cups in reversed energy of just like no emotional stability, absolutely no good communication in their emotions. It's like whenever you would try to be like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Like, why are you mad at me? Like, talk to me about this. It's like it would make them even angrier. They were like, you should understand this. You should understand why this is your fault. And I don't know. I feel like they were really hiding this part of themselves from you. And it's like, now that you saw that, they know they can never talk to you again or go back to you. They can never go back to the way y'all's relationship was. And that made them even angrier. So they just continued to be rude to you, continued to hurt you because they knew they could never go back now that they've shown you their true colors. Yeah. Hello, my beautiful pile twos. You chose this Tarot del Toro deck. This is going to be reading on how they justified themselves hurting you. Now, this is going to be really dark reading. I can already tell this one's going to be really hard for some of you, so I'm going to go ahead and put a trigger warning. I want y'all to meditate. I want y'all to be in contact with your spirit guides for this. Don't watch this lightly, basically. Don't take this lightly. Spirit, help me out. What is Pile 2 meant to know? Connect me to what Pile 2's energies is. Connect me to Pile 2's situation, their current reality, their desired reality. Connect me to Pile 2's soul. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a really heavy one. Whatever this person did to you, whatever these people did to you, it was really messed up. It was really heavy. It's not something you can just recover from in just one lifetime. Like, this is a soul trauma. Maybe this is a recurring soul trauma for you. Maybe this is something similar that has happened to you in a past life, that you just never got the chance to close out your karmic cycle in those past lives. So it's just continuing in this life for you. So maybe that's why it hurts so much for you, is it's because it's like multiple stabbings to an open wound. Spirit, how did they justify themselves hurting my Pile 2? How did they justify this? What made them think this was okay? I don't even want to talk about this. Like, I feel so like, it just feels bad. It feels really bad. Okay. This person was not stable in their lives. That's not how they justified it. Like, they weren't even aware of their own instability, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this person was extremely unstable, possibly mentally unstable, and they might still be if they haven't gotten help. Okay. We have the Three of Cups. This person, if they knew your friends, for some of you, the specific friends you had weren't okay to this person, so that's how they justified it. They were like, oh, Pile 2's hanging out with so-and-so, so obviously they're this, and this. They're this kind of bad person, or they're this kind of person because they're hanging out with Sally over there. For some of you, this person went to your exes or went to your ex-friends or maybe even went to some of the friends you had at the time and were asking for information about you, were talking about you behind your back. And whatever these people were saying to them was making them feel like they should hurt you. They were like, oh, I didn't know that about Pile 2, or oh, Pile 2 did that, or oh, you don't like Pile 2 because of what? And they were just digging for every single like reason. They were like, Pile 2's friends don't even like them because they're fake. They're not even being their true self. When in reality, it's like these friends were fake to you. These people who ended up talking shit about you to your, oh my god, behind your back. Like, not even to your face, but behind your back. Shit they would not say to your face, but they would say it behind your back. Yeah, I'm getting just a bitter, low-level energy from these people. And they were like, oh yeah, Pile 2's this or so and so and so. And really, they just like the gossip. They just like the drama. Meanwhile, this person you're thinking of, Pile 2, they weren't just taking that lightly. They were taking that very seriously. Oh, they're like, oh, Pile 2 did that? They were taking notes. They were taking screenshots. Man. They were going on a full, what's it called, quest. They were writing a whole biography about you. I don't know, bro. They were getting stalkery, you know? Like, they were being borderline stalkerish. And if not stalkerish, like, if not them going online to search for information about you, they were crossing many, many boundaries by talking to people who you were ex-friends with or who you were friends with, and asking for inappropriate information about you. We have the Ace of Goblets here. I'm hearing play with the fire and you're gonna get burned. Some fools never learn. It's only love if you love in return. Yeah. Okay. So look at this. There's two hands here. You were handing your cup of love. Like, you had your own cup. You were filling yourself up. You were good. You were handing this cup of love to this person. Whether it was platonic or not, you were being open, honest, true with this person. This was a real cup of love. This person had their hand out. They were not handing you back a cup of love. They were not, their hands were empty. They were reaching out to get the scraps from your overflowing cup of love. See that little tiny puddle there? There's a whole jar that you have, but they were just barely reaching for the scraps. Meanwhile, they could have had this whole cup of love within themselves. They could have built that for themselves. But they were looking towards you to give them that. Let me guess what happened when you didn't give them that. Yeah, a lot of Cups energy. Whoever you're thinking about, Pile 2, is really emotional, really in their emotional world. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. Emphasis on the Cancer. Because I've said this before in my readings, but the thing with Cancers is if they aren't actively closing out their karmic cycles or working on their karmic cycles or doing shadow work, then everything in their life, like every avenue of their life, manifests that for them, because that's their soul's path, you know. And if they aren't doing that themselves, then the universe is going to push it at them every which way. And so they're not going to realize that, though. So it's going to be projected onto everyone around them. And everyone around them is going to be feeling all this negative energy, or they're going to be feeling the residue from this person's karmic cycles, and they're like, what's going on? So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is this person probably was actively just doing their karmic cycles on purpose. And they were projecting that onto you. They were projecting their karmic cycles onto you. They were projecting their own shadow work that they need to be working on onto you, whether they were a Cancer or not. But yeah, basically what I was trying to say with Cancers is if Cancers don't fix their karmic cycles, then it projects onto everyone else. A healthy Cancer is fixing their own karmic cycles so they can be there for other people. But an unhealthy Cancer cannot be there for other people because they can't even be there for themselves. It's just like, and this applies to anyone. If you can't have this cup of love to yourself, if you can't love yourself, you aren't going to be able to maintain any sort of relationship, because that has to come from you first. And you can't be in a relationship while also simultaneously trying to fix yourself or trying to find a way to bring yourself a cup of love. You have to find that first before you can get into a relationship, because it's just going to interfere. It's just going to interfere. And I'm sorry to those of you who weren't in a relationship with this person, and it was just platonic. Maybe this person had feelings for you that you didn't know about. Maybe they did tell you that they had feelings and they just weren't reciprocated. Or maybe you even had feelings for this person. They lied about not having feelings for you. It's like they did have feelings for you. For some of you, it's like they did have feelings for you, but it's like they knew they were toxic and they would just hurt you. And for some of you, they knew they had feelings for you, but it's like what was going on in their life at the time prevented them from being able to start a relationship with you. Like maybe they were already in a relationship, maybe they were going through something at home. It's like they wanted to start a relationship with you, but the universe was literally holding them back from it. For those of you who were in a relationship with this person was actively like using your cup of love. They knew they were toxic. They knew they didn't love themselves. They knew they weren't good emotional foundation with themselves. And they still continued that relationship with you. Knowing that they were using your energy to feel better. Knowing that they were relying on you. Like, they weren't unaware of the fact that they were relying on you. Let me make that clear. They were very aware of that. The world here. Oh, I'm sorry. They knew. And they were like, oh, pity party, I have to rely on someone else. Or, oh, you're probably gonna end up hating me because I can't love myself. Or it's like, bro, get a grip. Get a grip. This person was so like, they weren't even trying to see the most obvious answer. They weren't even trying to change. They were just like being all whack. They were tripping. They were like, it's like when someone's freaking out over the most littlest shit that could just easily be solved. It's like that's the energy of this person, is like they would just make every little thing, every small detail into such a big deal. And that's sort of what they did to you when they were like talking to your friends and stuff. They were like taking every small thing that other people didn't like about you, or flaws that people saw in you and like to talk shit about, and they were overriding it to be some sort of thing that it wasn't. They created this whole narrative about you in their head of like you being a gaslighter or manipulator, that you're lying to everyone. They probably even could have told your friends, your exes, your ex-friends this. They were like, oh yeah, this person's probably a narcissist. Pile 2 is probably a narcissist. They probably did this all for attention. They probably use people for their own gain. I don't know if y'all heard about that artist. I think it's called like Creep Show or something. and she like admitted to herself stalking this other chick on a YouTube video while she was making the video to try to be like, I didn't do this. I didn't do this at all. She's wrong. And by making that video, she literally admitted to stalking her. It's like the arrogance of Creepshow to be able to do that. To be able to sit here and be like, I'm right, y'all are wrong, and I'm quitting YouTube since y'all don't agree with me. That's the level of arrogance that's coming from this person, pile too. Like, this person has the world is against me energy. This person has it's society's fault energy. They will go to great lengths to blame anyone but themselves for their situation just so they can feel better about being a piece of shit. They're like, oh, but I'm not a piece of shit because of me. I'm a piece of shit because so-and-so did this and this to me a while back, or because this person didn't treat me right, or because this person wounded me in this way. And it's like excuses for why they just won't change. Yeah, but I'm sorry. The world again here. This person justified themselves hurting you because, again, you were their world, you were their everything, and when you didn't give them everything, when you tried even just a little bit to do something for yourself that didn't involve them, their world was being, the rug was being ripped out from under them, and from their perception, you're the one ripping the rug. Because they had set it up in their mind that they were going to get this constant flow of abundance from you. They're like, that's just how it should be. I deserve this. And when you recoiled from that automatically because that's not who you are, they took that personally. They took that offensively. I'm also hearing they're mad they can't step into your world. It's like, I don't know if you can see the aura around this little bug or whatever. This little white aura, this golden aura. But you're really ethereal. There's something about you that's otherworldly. And this person wants that. Maybe they've tried to mimic that spiritual beauty in you before. Maybe they've tried to mimic your job or your hobbies, or your personality or your style. But it just hasn't brought them satisfaction, hasn't brought them happiness or completeness, because they're always trying to get their ideas from you. They're like, I want to be as fulfilled, as spiritually abundant as Pile 2. But they're only trying to be like you. They were only trying to be like you to change that, and it just wouldn't work for them. It's like they didn't understand that they had to build that within themselves. Like, the only way self-abundance and self-satisfaction can come from is from within. And it's like sometimes they would feel self-satisfied and happy when they were around you because you would just like give them this love, give them this energy, and like hype them up. But it's like on the flip side of that, they felt sometimes completely empty, completely like they had nothing, just nothing. And they would go back and forth between that. And it's like they thought it was you. They thought the reason they would go back and forth between like feeling like they had everything and feeling like they had nothing was because of you. But it was really just them cycling through their own cycle of like being satisfied by taking from someone else and then being completely unsatisfied because it's never enough. It's never enough. And that's the thing, is it just got to the point where they were like, it's never enough. And like that was like the breaking point for them that pushed them over the edge. It's like, and that's sort of what made them hurt you, is like, I can never get enough from this person. I always have to keep taking from them. and it made them mad. They were like, they were mad that they couldn't use you as the source of their abundance. And they blamed you for that. They were like, oh, the reason I feel this way is because I'm in a relationship with this person, or I'm friends with this, or I'm friends with pile 2. That's the reason I keep going back and forth between unsatisfaction. It's like you were giving them everything, but they thought that you weren't giving them everything because sometimes they would be unsatisfied, or sometimes they would feel like they would have nothing. And during those dark times, during those negative times, they'd be like, this is pile 2's fault. Why isn't pile 2 there for me? Why isn't pile 2 understanding what's going on with me? Why isn't pile 2 also feeling bad at the same time that I'm feeling bad? This person had very high expectations of you. Very, very high. Like, unhuman. Let's see, we have one more. Pretty sure this is death. Yeah, this is death. We have scythes again, so you probably could have resonated with both pile 1 and pile 2, but I don't know, man. Like, whatever this person did to hurt you completely put to death any relationship, any bridge between y'all. Like, they shut that shit down, whether they realized it or not. Like, they can never go back from what they've done to you. I'm hearing this person is fake spiritual, or like for some of you this person is like, oh, I hear voices in my head, but it's not actually that. Like, they're just delusional. Like, actually, like, they're, whether they have mental problems or not, they are feeding into their own delusions. And this person was like, oh, the voices told me to do it. That's just for some of you. Or for some others of you, it's like, oh, my spirit guides, they're telling me to cut off this person, and they're telling me that this person is the source of the problem. When their spirit guides were not telling them that. Their spirit guides were like, get a fucking grip, bro. Look at yourself in the mirror for 5 seconds. But they were not listening. This person is really imaginative, and they've made up a lot of stuff in their head about you, about the situation surrounding you. It's like the only thing that keeps them entertained, the only thing that makes them feel fulfilled, the only thing that keeps their fire going. And that's why they've like kept it going for so long. That's why it's gotten so contrived. And that's why they're probably still stalking you, is they just can't get over it. They keep wanting to hurt you, and maybe you probably already completely cut them off from being able to, and it's like they're stuck in this energy of wanting to affect you, but knowing that they can't. They have no access to you at all. And it's like, oh, pile 2 wanted this. They wanted me to be sitting here mad. They wanted me to feel completely cut off so I couldn't do anything about it. It's just projection. Like, this person projected everything onto you and expected you to be the solution to their unsatisfaction, their unhappiness with that. Because they were never being true to themselves. And the whole time they didn't realize the only way you can be true to yourself is finding out what's true to you. You can't take that from other people. You can't blame other people for your own unsatisfaction with them yourself. You have to take accountability for your own life, and this person never did that. And they probably still haven't.